Janaranjana Jamuna Tiravana Jani Jamuna Tiravana Jani Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Bhaja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Bhaja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravana-chari Yamuna Tiravana-chari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajikacharya Sutara Satashi Srimad Divine Grace Abhaya Chanavinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jaya Lichiliva Vishnu Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivajikacharya Sutara Satashi Srimad Divine Grace Shil Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Shil Haridas Thakur Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Gaur Premanandi All glorious to some devotees. All glorious to some devotees. All glorious to some devotees. All glorious to Sri Guru, Sri Gauranga, and Srila Prabhupada. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 10th chapter, chapter entitled Departure of Lord Krishna for Dwarka. Verse number 23. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sa va ayang yat padam atra surayo jitendriya nirjita matarishvanaha pasyanti bhakti utkalita malatmana Utkalita malatmana Nan Vesha Satpang parimashtum arhati. Dasha likes to give me all these difficult ones. Sava ayang yat padang atra surayo jitendira nirjita matarishvanaha pashanti bhaktyut kalita malatmana pashanti bhaktyut kalita malatmana nanvesha sadvang parimashtumarhati nanvesha satvang parimashtumarhati. Please chant. Sava ayang yat padam atra surayo Sava ayang yat padam atra surayo Jitendriya nirjita matarishvanaha Pashanti bhaktyut kalita alimatlamana Nanvesha sadvang parimashtamarhati. Sava ayang yat padam atra surayo Jitendriya nirjita matarishvana Pashant bhakti kalita malatmana Nanvesha sadvang parimashtamarhati. Ladies. Sava ayang yat padam atra surayo Jitendriya nirjita matarishvana Pashanti bhaktyut kalita malatmana Nanvesha sadvang parimashtamarhati. Sa, he, by providence, I am this, yet, that which, padam atra, here is the same personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. Suraya, great devotees, Jita Indriya, who have overcome the influence of the senses. Nirjita, thoroughly controlled. Mata Ishvana, life. Pashanti, can see. Bhakti, by dint of devotional service. Utkalita, developed. Amala Atmana, those whose minds are thoroughly cleansed. Nanu Esha, certainly by this only. Sadvam, existence. Parimashtum, for purifying the mind completely. Arhati, deserve. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Here is the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose transcendental form is experienced by the great devotees who are completely cleansed of material consciousness by dint of rigid devotional service and full control of life and the senses. And that is the only way to purify existence. Please repeat. Here is the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose transcendental form is experienced by great devotees, by the great devotees, who are completely cleansed of material consciousness by dint of rigid devotional service and full control of life and the senses. And that is the only way to purify existence. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. As it is stated in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord can be known in His real nature by dint of pure devotional service only. So it is stated here that only the great devotees of the Lord, who are able to clear the mind of all material dust by rigid devotional service, can experience the Lord as He is. Jitendriya means one who has full control over the senses. The senses are active parts of the body, and their activities cannot be stopped. The artificial means of the yogic processes to make the senses inactive has proved to be abject failure, even in the case of great yogis like Vishwamitra Muni. Vishwamitra Muni controlled the senses by yogic trance, but when he happened to meet Menaka, a heavenly society woman, he became a victim of sex, and the artificial way of controlling the senses failed. But in the case of a pure devotee, the senses are not at all artificially stopped from doing anything, but they are given different good engagements. When the senses are engaged in more attractive activities, there is no chance of their being attracted by any inferior engagements. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the senses can be controlled only by better engagements. Devotional service necessitates purifying the senses or engaging them in the activities of devotional service. Devotional service is not inaction. Anything done in the service of the Lord becomes at once purified of its material nature. The material conception is due to ignorance only. There is nothing beyond Vasudeva. The Vasudeva conception gradually develops in the heart of the learned after a prolonged acceleration of the receptive organs. But the process ends in the knowledge of accepting Vasudeva as all in all. In the case of devotional service, this very same method is accepted from the very beginning. And by the grace of the Lord, all factual knowledge becomes revealed in the heart of a devotee due to dictation by the Lord from within. Therefore, controlling the senses by devotional service is the only and easiest means. Om Jnanatmanandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anvatyamayana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lankayate Grim Yakripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam. So Prabhupada was giving some hint. He keeps repeating, Vasudeva is all in all. The Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayat Yasu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Yat Ahoitakam. So all this knowledge gathered indirectly, because in this life we see, just like on book distribution yesterday, you're meeting so many individuals, you don't know what that person's situation is from a spiritual perspective. He could be just on the cusp of accepting Krishna consciousness. And we see it all the time. How many devotees have come to this movement directly as a result of book distribution, or indirectly, having received a book from someone else who received a book. So this method is sublime. It doesn't require even direct contact. One only has to come in with the book distributor. We used to have this video, maybe you've seen it, called Brilliant as the Sun. Have you seen? You have not seen? You should Google it. The BBT used to make, before the days of internet and impromptu video, they used to actually make movies. So one movie was called Brilliant as the Sun. So it's geared specifically towards book distribution. And it describes these books as time bombs. Just like you put a bomb in some location and you set the timer, and at that precise moment that bomb explodes. So these books which are being distributed Sometimes you get the feeling this person may or may not read this book. But somehow or other, he is also distributing this book. Because he'll take it and he'll give it to someone, or he'll put it in his house. Such a situation happened to me first time. The first book I received was in someone else's house. And somehow or other, we can't say exactly how, in those days, reality was a fluid thing. But this book appeared to be glowing amongst many books in this person's bookcase. Be that as it may, somehow or other, I was attracted. And that book was Krishna book. Soft cover Krishna book. And I opened it and immediately I was attracted. You know, for one, it was endorsed by George Harrison, who said all you need is love. That's all everyone was looking for in those days. And then just the introduction itself had so much potential for that happiness which no one had ever heard of before. That sublime, transcendental state which didn't require anything artificial. So that was, and then of course many years later when we saw the film, As Brilliant as the Sun, we understood the import, the purport of these books as time bombs. It was just sitting there, waiting to be touched by someone else, and then immediately it had an effect. So these books have to be distributed profusely, there is no doubt. This knowledge which is sublime is meant for the conditioned souls of Kali Yuga. We have the holy names, but we see that even those who come in contact with the chanting, if they don't have any basis for appreciating the philosophical fundamental basis, they will eventually give it up. We saw many people come attracted to the kirtan, but they didn't stay. They'll dance and chant, and that dancing and chanting is their price. They have paid the entrance, that now they're eligible, because this is what Kali Yuga promises, that Kalera dosha nidhi rajan asti eka mahadgunat kirtanat eva krishnasya. So they'll get mukti, but there's no specific point in time. It doesn't say immediately. It just says they will get. Not this lifetime maybe, not the next lifetime, but they will get. But their real benefit comes when they meet the devotees. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Sastra Koi, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. So somehow or other, even by a moment's association with a devotee, by receiving a book, by receiving the holy name, at that point, we see that there is some awakening. So this is very special, that there are so many examples about controlling the senses. And Prabhupada gives this very nice of Vishvamitra Muni. But there are so many like that, not just one. And the opposite positive example is Haridas Thakur, a young man, stout, strong, and with a bodily luster that was extremely attractive. And he was sitting, absorbed in the holy names, and he was conspired against, at least externally, by those who wanted to see him compromised. Even today, that's there. So one has to be always on guard. In relating this incident of Maya Devi meeting Haridas Thakur in Mayapur, Prabhupada described how Haridas Thakur expertly counteracted her proposal, her proposition, and said, I am not finished with my rounds. When I am finished, then we can discuss the situation. And so the devotees left. And I'll always remember this because it's so telling. The devotees left because the way Prabhupada related it, it was a little humorous, like a punchline. Like, we'll discuss this later. So the devotees left. And Prabhupada said, no, this is not funny. This is not funny. He says, you cannot do this. And then he said, I cannot do this. So one cannot be alone in a solitary place with any woman except his wife. And this is there. Chanakya Pandit says, Matrivat Paradareshu. This is clear. The Vedic culture gives us some hints. It's not the all in all. Everything that's within is the all in all, but you see people they extract what they find attractive for their own aggrandizement. And you see people do this all the time. They'll quote something just to appear to be sophisticated or educated. But in reality, most cases, there's no realization. They're just parroting some soundbite. I think they call them sound bites now. Some small vignette sounds nice. People don't know. The one from our generation was, I'm okay, you're okay. What does it mean? It's a useless saying, but it was the mantra for a generation, practically speaking. Yeah, so we have to, we cannot be mindless parrots. We have to go and Rishikena, Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Uchite. We have to purify the senses in order to come in contact. And purify the senses by engaging in the mastery of the senses. At which point, the senses purified will reveal the true nature of this transcendental philosophy, the sublime nature. Prabhupada is so expert. It's described that one who is expert can explain something according to that person's understanding, time and circumstance. This is one of the definitions of expert. That he knows how to deliver the message according to the time and circumstances without changing the essence. This is another definition of acharya. Many people can repeat the message, but they cannot adjust it according to time and circumstances for the particular audience. Which is why sometimes things don't resonate. If a person has no realization, he can't relate to the audience, then he's just speaking words. And the audience is giving blank stares. So we have to be careful when we're delivering the philosophy that we're actually speaking to the person, to his particular circumstances. And so that principle of listening, hearing and chanting sometimes means we have to hear also, to hear where that person is spiritually. They'll reveal themselves. You let them speak, and they'll reveal themselves, and then you can speak according to that, whatever they have revealed. So this is a science. At the same time, it's also an art. Just like we were distributing books yesterday, and Mother Divyangi has her Gita condensed sheet of how to distribute. And everything is there, very clear. Tried and tested. No need to reinvent what is already successful. It works. It's not broken. So these things are useful in order to deliver, because it is not us. Prabhupada said, what can your 2-3 minutes speaking do? You have to get them the book. You have to get them the Bhagavad Gita. So we see how we can be effective instruments. Nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. Instruments in the service of the Lord. Someone is a hammer. Someone is a wrench. We have the hard and soft method. And we know how to adjust it according to time and circumstances. So that we have to finesse. We have to practice and polish. We have time. There's, well, you have time. We don't have so much time. But whatever time we have has to be spent in delivering the message of Godhead. This is Prabhupada's only mission, ultimately. The temples are just a means. The books are just the means. Everything is the means to the end of getting the message of Godhead across to the fallen conditioned souls. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Towards the end of Kali Yuga, it will be even more, how can you say, the book distributors will be warriors. They may not even be using books. They may be using some other method. But that method will be authorized, whatever it is, according to our acharyas. But for now, it is books. And so we're very happy and very fortunate. Somehow or other we have the shelter of Sri Radha Govinda, who have, without a doubt, overseen the greatest book distribution, we could say, in the United States for many years. Now it may be somewhat hidden. But I mean, no one can claim, and no one, I don't believe, the record still stands, that we were distributing up to 10,000 books in one day. Up to 10,000 books on one Christmas marathon in one day. We broke open the storehouse of love of God. We loaded pallets of Krishna books, the same blue Krishna books, very powerful. Same ones that attracted me. And we were just distributing them for any donation, because that's what we were instructed, for any donation. Which is a little tricky. We know if a person has to value that which he receives, otherwise he takes it cheaply. But yet the effort and the endeavor, there was no fault on the part of the book distributors. They did as they were instructed. And 10,000 Krishna books. So this was an amazing episode in the history of Krishna consciousness. And anyone who participated on that evening will never forget. Actually, it was 2 evenings, but still. Even in 2 days, 10,000 books. Because it started one day, went past midnight, and finished on the next day. We were out, Rockefeller Center. It's a place of pilgrimage, Rockefeller Center. And everybody comes, what do they come? They're all sentimental. They're coming to see a tree, which has been cut down and moved to this location for the last who knows how many years. And it is the cynosure of the eye. It is a center of attraction for so many millions of people, and they're all there for that reason. So if we do a Christmas marathon this year, we should make sure that Rockefeller Center and Times Square are at the top of the list. The very top of the list. And we'll have a very nice video, courtesy of Mother Aditya. First one in many years in that regard. So are there any questions, comments, corrections, concerns? How can we distribute more books? Sunday, Sankirtan Ki Jai. So many things to do. It was very successful, no? Mother Divyangi? Yeah. Whole day of book distribution, one location to another. Huh? And we have another such opportunity on the 18th. Devamrita Maharaj is here on that time. So he'll be here giving the lecture in the evening. Is that correct? Or is it in the morning? Or morning and evening?
That's Sunday?
Yeah. The evening. Okay, so we have a huge parade. Madison Avenue and Madison Square Park. Huge. It's the biggest Indian cultural parade of the year. Yeah, so it'll be amazing. Do we have enough books? Okay. Just got to make sure we have enough books. Okay. And does everybody here have a full set of Bhagavatams? You, sir. Do you have a full set of Srimad Bhagavatam in your house? The Bhagavad Purana? From the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust? There are different versions, you know. But you have that set which is published by our printing, Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. Very important. Bhadra Purnima. Are you familiar with that holiday? Bhadra Purnima. Says that anyone who gifts a set of Srimad Bhagavatam on that day, both himself and the receiver achieve liberation. So you may need to purchase one more set to give on Bhadra Purnima. And you can see any of the ladies or gents for that purpose, like that. Very important. Every home must have a set of Bhagavatams. It purifies the home, and the home becomes a place of worship. Any other questions, comments? Mother Dibyanki?
Guru says that
every room should have a set of Bhagavatams. Very good.
That's what he does.
So those who have studio apartments are lucky, they only get one set. Or they're unlucky, they only get one set. Any other questions or comments? Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.